Hi, and welcome back to Rick's Room. This is a show where we pretend we're at the end of a busy conference day. We finally get a chance to sit down in a comfortable seat, maybe in the hotel lobby or bar, and we see someone we've been wanting to talk to for a long time. Today, in this case, it is my good friend, Doring Lloyd. Now, when we met Doring, first of all, thanks for being here. Second of all,
Absolutely. Thank you.
when we met, we're not going to say how many years ago it is because we're not giving away that kind of information.
No.
But it was a while back, and I've always loved visiting with you. You're always working on something new and innovative. What are you working on now? Tell me about it.
Well, I have officially gone back to school, as they say, but I am now graduated from that school. So I went back last September to a reflexology school because I felt that I wanted to give back in a way that I could literally touch human beings' feet and hands and make a difference in their life in that capacity.
Whoa, that's very cool because in my experience with you, you've always had an impact on people. You were involved in sales and marketing for at least three companies that I know of, introducing people to solutions all the time.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
how did you come to know about this and get interested in it?
Well, honestly, it happened way back in 1997. I was down visiting my aunt in Florida, and she had Alzheimer's, and I
Mm.
worked on her feet. I just gave her rubs on her feet, but I used pressure, and I just saw her melt and loved it. And then I was doing it for years with my husband, and I'm like, you know what? I've known about reflexology for years. I want to go down a new path, a new journey in my life, and affect people in a different way that I've never done before. And that would be a holistic approach and provide them with a solution to help bring about homeostasis, harmony, balance, however you want to call it, in their lives in some capacity. So I chose this route.
Really nice story. Now, you actually had to go through a lot of education. Tell us about that.
Mhm. Okay, so in case you aren't aware of it, reflexology well, it can be defined many different ways, but they have been able to map the reflexes on the bottom of people's feet, on their hands, and on their outer ears. And with that, they have found those reflexes that correlate to our body systems like our liver, our kidneys, our pancreas, our stomach, etc., the brain, etc. And I have learned how to do hand and finger techniques on the feet and the hands, and I'll be learning face and ear later this year, such that I can help stimulate those reflexes, if you will, to get them firing again so that they do what they were designed to do in our body systems.
Interesting. It's nice to know that our Western medicine is starting to discover some of this stuff, but we've seen drawings and read things from ancient India and China for a long time about how this works. Well, you're actually doing it. What difference have you experienced with your patients?
Oh boy. That is a great question. So, with one gentleman that I worked on in the documentation stage as I was working through to get to my certification, he happens to be somebody that would go to the bathroom. He's a diabetic, and he would go to the bathroom many times a night. Um, and with that, with doing the reflexology on his feet, we were able to bring his body back into a balance where he was only down to one time a night. And after the documentation stage was over, he happened to, a couple months after it was over, he ran into my husband somewhere, and he said, I need to come back to your wife because that problem has resurfaced. So he actually called me, and he is going to be now a client of mine. Another situation I have experienced with many women is, things that affect their women's cycle and the pain that they experience, the It could be just, the cramping or the uncomfortableness, or it could be that they just have knee problems and they just want some relief. And by working the reflexes, we were able to lighten that pain or lessen it, or in some cases, completely go away.
How did you know this was the right path for you?
Truthfully, it was the Holy Spirit. It was God. It was leading, that inner voice that. And I wrote a blog recently and talked about the journey of leaving the real estate, financial services, fintech industry, and going on this journey to a holistic approach and affecting people that way. And in that blog, I specifically mentioned that, it was an inner voice that, and don't be afraid to follow it.
Well, that's good advice. Many of us hear that and we ignore it to our
Mm.
detriment. You didn't, but moving away from an industry that you had spent so much time in, and you had so many contacts, and you had had such a success, had to be difficult. So, bravo to you for
Mhm.
following the call. Now, I've been to tons of conferences, and oftentimes we'll see people with the little chairs and they bend you over in it. And I never do this. I don't want to be folded in half, but they put people in there and they rub on them. Is this something you could do, or is your work much more clinical than that?
Well, I wouldn't quite say that the word is clinical, but maybe therapeutic.
Hmm.
Now, massage is massage, and that's obviously affecting muscles and tissues. And we do not practice massage as reflexologists. We are affecting reflexes to get things to fire again. Some people could liken it to acupressure, not acupuncture, but acupressure. So this is something very much that I would like to take to the conferences. I can easily set up and work on it in a booth. I could work it on people's hands or feet, and they could still have a meeting with a respective company.
Oh my gosh. I remember being on the floor of these conferences at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My feet are crying to have something.
Exactly.
Oh, that could be really
Yes.
good. That could be
I
really
love
good.
the idea. I love the idea of people plopping in a chair for a few minutes and getting me to work on them for 15, 20 minutes on their hands and feet.
Where are you now? Tell me about what you're doing.
Well, I am getting ready to take the national exam for the reflexology. So that's monitored by the ARCB. So I'm certified by the school I went to, but now I'm going to go on and get the national certification. And in the meantime, what I've been doing is going back and retaking anatomy and physiology.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, for those, the foot 2 and foot 3, we call it, because I just want to have that a little more confidence going into this exam. So that's one thing I've been doing. I've started building my business as another big component, and I've started getting clients. And then recently, what I did on Labor Day Monday, I was in front of a storefront and he set me up. I used my zero gravity chair
Mhm.
and gave away free reflexology sessions for the feet or the hands. But it seemed like everybody wanted feet that day. And I
Yeah.
just sat there on that Monday and worked on people's feet for 15, 20 minutes while they were walking around town, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it.
I imagine they did. Well, that's what I was getting at, because I know you're in the RV today and you're traveling around and you've
Mhm.
got to travel for the education that you do and the conferences you go to. You're really putting a lot into this, and I
Mhm.
applaud that.
Thank you.
So tell me, if you know, what's the ambition? Where do you want to take this new business? What do you see for yourself 5 years down the road?
Well, 5 years down the road, I would love to be doing corporate events primarily, because I can't think of a better way to treat clients or customers, or, and I'm talking about the corporation's clients or customers. treating them to free sessions of reflexology, or the employees for that matter of the companies. They work hard, right? And if there's an employee day, why not have someone come in? I think they do it with massage. So why not have me come in and do it for reflexology, and just give love on the clients and love on the employees a little bit.
Talk about a great way to add value. I love it. Now, the company is Hand to Heal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put information about it in the show notes so people can find you. Doring, thank you for doing this. Thanks for staying in touch with me. Sometimes when people leave the industry that I focused on for so many years, I lose touch with them, and thank you for not letting that happen. And
Absolutely.
as you develop this company, as you do more work, I can't wait to connect with you again, see how you're doing.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Right.
Thank you for having me. I love the time with you.
Of course. Till next time.
Bye now.